Good morning. Yes, welcome to another morning brew with it's your girl Germaine. And today's Friday. And for you that know what that means, it is Authors Brew Friday. And yes, we have a special author in studio with us today that I am excited to introduce you to. But before we go there, before we go there, I just want to make sure everybody is good as you are chiming in. I have joined the river over on Instagram. Leslie listening. Happy Friday. Yes, over on Instagram. And let's see. If you are chiming in, let me know where you're chiming in from. Also, what are you drinking? I have my hazelnut coffee. Give me a moment. I need a sip. Oh my gosh, that is always so good. But yes, I am so excited for our guest that's in studio with us today. So, can I introduce her to you? And then I'll bring her in. I won't hold you long. So, we have best-selling author, award-winning. Now she's gonna talk to us about what this means. Elocutionist, an inspirational communicator, known for her compelling lectures and storytelling as a leader and educator. Excuse me. Also, she has a way of bridging history, faith, and purposeful living with a powerful, authentic voice. So we have none other than Faye Boykin in studio with us. And let me bring her in so we can get into this conversation. Hold on one second. I am so excited to have you finally. We're here. I love the glasses. I
Thank
love
you.
the glasses.
And these are not pleasures. These are true prescription readers.
That's what I said. These are my readers. I need these extra eyes.
Yes. Yes.
How are you today?
I am absolutely fabulous. I cannot and will not complain.
I feel the energy. I feel the energy.
Yes.
Yes. So, what are you drinking today?
Believe it or not, Harriet said, let's do just some plain H2O, some
Ooh,
water.
listen, I always keep mine on the side.
Mhm.
Yes, yes. But wait a minute, because you have your special Harriet Tubman mug.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
Now, let me tell all of our, those that are out there that are chiming into the conversation today. The reason that's so special is because today's brew is Universal Takeaways from Tubman, Leadership in Light. And she is the author of this book. So let me just pull this up on the screen real quick so they can see all of your fabulousness. Okay.
Oh, it's all about God. He purposed me to
Yes.
do it.
Yes, 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 yes. Her book is available. We're definitely going to get into that. But I want to talk to the author about what motivated you, what inspired you to want to share this story. Because wait, before you even answer that, I just want to say this is not her first. She's holding all her books in her hand that she's published. This is her latest book. And it's Black History Month. It's Love Month with Valentine's Day being in this month. So we're going to get into this conversation. What was the inspiration? What was on your heart to really put this book out?
A myriad of tugs at my heart and heartstrings. But I want to say around 2015,
Mm-hmm.
I was in the DMV area, the DC,
Now explain
Maryland,
what,
Virginia.
yes,
Yes.
explain that,
And
right?
the more I looked around, the more I went to museums, the African American Museum, and I kept saying, I am yet to see the exact rotunda where, of course, her sister Sojourner Truth was. Well, while I
Yes.
was there, one of my sorority sisters said, Hey, Faye, I went to a festival and it was in March. And she said, all I could think about was you and Harriet
Mhm.
Tubman because I had done an interpretation of Harriet at my church. And I said, Well, what did you think? She said, I said, A Faye belongs up in here. So the
Mm,
following year, I went to where Harriet was enslaved. I went to the Brodus Farm site, which is included
mm,
in my book. And the deeper we drove, I said, oh my goodness, it is so cold here. And the water was so low, it would wash up. And I said, are we in the middle of nowhere? I said, let's turn back. It was out in really the backwoods of nowhere. And she
wow.
said, have you ever thought about what Harriet went through? There was a stillness that came over
Yeah.
me.
Even when you
And
just said that, even when you
yes,
just said that, I felt that. I mean, that stillness of,
yes.
ooh,
And she said, remember where we're going. We were headed to the actual, I said, the Harriet Tubman Center, where Harriet, they have memorabilia. And I love it when I see our people specifically learning about the history. But to my surprise, there were more of those of the other persuasion. And it was almost like, am I going to be able to get in here? I
mm,
wanted some of this. I was yearning.
yes.
And I remember the beavers, the muskrats. And I said, well, what is that? They were so hairy and our car was so low riding. She said, remember the muskrats. And the closer we got to the Harriet Tubman Railroad Visitor Center, I said, wait a minute. And it was as if God brought it to my remembrance. The very things that Harriet was taught by her father Ben to strap and trap were muskrats. And
Mm,
as you may or may not know, muskrat trapping is an economic big business still in Cambridge, Maryland, on the eastern shores of Maryland.
wow.
Maryland, it just it blew my mind, the whole state, but specifically Cambridge and the Eastern Shores, and to just stand and trod where Harriet stood and walked. And I kept thinking of how focused she had to be when she
Oh,
walked through the frigid cold. No shoes, no socks. At many of my signings, I give away socks because
oh
I
my.
keep saying, Harriet, what a woman you still are for generations. When we think about trials and tribulations and
Mm,
challenges and not wanting to go on because of trivial things, Harriet said, I'm going. I'm going to keep following. I found my North Star. I found my Polaris, and I'm not going to be satisfied until I reach it.
my God. My God.
Mm.
Did you feel like it was just an embodiment in that
Yes.
moment, in that space? Like, just from a spiritual standpoint, you still felt her in the earth, in that space that you were in.
I became so emotional at one point. I said to Malika, I said, I don't want to leave here. We were there for hours. And
Mm,
initially, when we started out, all I could think about was something to eat, something to eat. I tell you, our sister girl Harriet took those hunger pains, thoughts, ideas away. And one of the quotes that it just it will not leave me.
yes.
I remember through that very experience, the curator said, had you been here a little earlier, you could have come and attended the celebration of Harriet. March 10th is her celebratory birthday. And I said, well, I had to come when I had things in order. I said,
Yes.
you will very well know Harriet was a strategic planner and she did not do anything just half stepping up haphazardly. He said,
Yes.
oh, I see. I see. I said, so here I am now. And the more I looked at what Harriet said, God blessed me to leave there and connect with one of Harriet's descendants, her
Oh my
great,
God.
great, great grandniece. And I said, Harriet is still such an amazing woman. And I said to her, How did it make you feel when she said, I done freed 300, could have freed 300 more? She said, let me stop you. She said, Aunt Harriet did not talk like that. Aunt Harriet did not say that. And I was speaking with her because I wanted to move with accuracy. I
Yes.
said, I want to write this book, and the spirit within me will not let me rest until I release it. It was like an overdue baby, if we're talking in
Yes.
terms.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I got to the point of frustration with publishers and printers. And I said to my husband, I'm not writing this book. He simply said, darling, when you feel like your back is truly against the wall, don't tell your God how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your God is. I
Ooh.
said, what? I said, what did you say
Ooh.
to me? He said, anything that
Mm.
seems to be difficult and challenging and impossible, he said, you cannot barter or banter or tell God what you're not going to do. God tells you what to do. He said, if it's that hard, there's a powerful
Yeah.
blessing waiting at the end of your journey. He said, why
Amen.
don't you ask Harriet? After that, I pulled myself together. I put on my big girl clothes. I wiped my tears away. And I said, back to the writing board I will go. And on the autographing page, I wrote, waiting on the other side of your prayers, your patience, and your perseverance is your purpose.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
purposed like Esther for such a time as this. I had to move forth because I had put out all kinds of writings and advertisements and marketing, and December was coming whether I was ready or not.
Yes. Absolutely.
And when I
Absolutely.
received the blessing of Tina, her great 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 grand niece, I knew I had to put the pedal to the metal. It was playtime no
Mm.
more. It was over. Stop feeling sorry for myself. Stop
Absolutely.
sending out invitations to the pity party because everybody has one. And nobody was really accepting the invitations.
Yeah.
So I
But
had,
won't he send you everything you need right
in the
when
nick
you
of
need it?
time, oh my
Yes.
God, Germaine, I tell you, we ended up going with the first edition with a local printer.
Hmm.
I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. She said, hey, Faye, if it is to be, then God will further what
Yes, he
his
will.
purpose is in you. I stood there,
Oh my
tears
goodness.
of joy just streaming down my face. As you have said, this is confirmation. God will give us what we need when we need it in the nick of time. If
Absolutely.
we trust Him, we're not to lean on our own understanding.
Absolutely.
We're not all big and mighty like we think we are.
I love what your husband did though. What he realigned you. He realigned your thought process, gave you a whole different perspective of how to see things
Yes,
outside
He
of
did.
oneself.
Yes. And it heightened me to a level where I was like, girl, do you believe you said that? Do you
Wow.
believe those words rolled from your lips? And I even took him to the point of where I said, I don't get it. This is not like I'm birthing my first baby in the form of a
Absolutely.
book. He said, darling, right
Mm.
now is not the time to do glance. Let's not glance. Let's not review. It's beautiful to reflect, but you've got a book that you need to get out. Ask your sky daddy, ask your God what he
Woo.
would have you to do. Ask him to order your steps.
Sometimes
Girl,
we just got to be reminded.
we
We
got to
forget
be
the
reminded.
power of
Come
who,
on.
yes, of
The
who we're
struggle
plugged
was
into, our
real.
source.
Yes. And I said, okay, Sky Daddy, I love you. I need you like never before. But if you intend for this book to go forth, you'll have to write it. Be
Yeah.
careful what you pray for. I could not stop. I could not stop. It appeared that my brain, my thoughts were out racing my keys. Normally, I write out my entire manuscript longhand. Time
Mm.
did not allow it.
Well,
And it got to the point, well, I'll see what this person says about the book. And
uh,
I'm telling
how
you,
did that go for you?
yes, yes, yes. And this passage, it did something to me and has done something to every reader that has read the book thusly. May
So
I share it with you?
is this the went back? Is this a part of, or wait, no,
This
I
is
want you to go. Go
okay.
ahead. No, go
Tell me,
ahead. What part is this?
this is when people misinterpret your purpose.
Ooh, come on, talk about it.
This comes from chapter 8, understanding your assignment. Now, this thing got personal. This is sacred ground.
Mm.
There comes a moment in every leader's life when the assignment God has placed within them begins to outshine the opinions surrounding them. A moment when clarity becomes louder than criticism, when
Oh my
purpose
gosh.
settles deeper than perception, when calling outweighs commentary.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Quote, obedience to God does not require approval from people. End quote. Now, this is the piece where God said, how dare you? Baby
Mm.
girl, I made you. I created you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. When people misinterpret your purpose. One person looked at the book and I said, what would you think? Didn't say anything about leadership, didn't say anything about light. Well, the first thing that comes to my mind, he said, is DEI.
My
And
goodness.
my response, good, because I desire inclusion, not exclusion, unity, not division,
Yeah.
light, not silence, reflection, not retreat. My message was never meant to blend into comfort. It was designed to challenge, to invite, to illuminate, to inspire, and to bridge what others try to separate. My,
Yes.
my book is not about politics. It is about people. So I clapped for him. I gave him a round of applause and he was stunned. And he said, are you serious? I said, as serious as you and I are conversating, I am.
He didn't know what to do with that. He
No,
didn't he didn't think the comeback would be that powerful.
that powerful. God is my mouthpiece.
Yes.
When we think and look and observe all the unrest that is
Mm.
taking place outside of us, outside of our comfortable homes, outside of the walls in which we live. That was the very reason I said, God, I, I, I can't write this book. It's too much going on. God said, you will write it. Now is the time. Now is the time for such a time as this. Your
Amen.
message needs to divert the attention. Your message needs to give power. Your book, your word needs to give people a different focus, that there
Yes.
is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. There is faith that says, through me and with me, all things are possible. It ain't over until God says it's over. Forget the fat lady singing. God is omnipotent. God is
Yes.
all powerful. He is omnipresent everywhere at the same time and omniscient, all knowing. So who do I trust? What does God's report
Talk
say?
about it.
Come on. I am
Oh,
not bragging, but books
no.
are just, can't keep the books ordered. Was at a production Monday
Mm.
night. Several
Yes.
people said, I've ordered my book. I can't get it. I haven't gotten it. I said, just hold on. It's coming. That
Yes.
was a number of about 16 people. What God showed me, what I say will go forth. Man is not in charge. I am God. I am large and in charge. And finally, I said to them, God said, you don't have to just go through Amazon. You can order through my website. Well, I didn't know. I said, now you do. Because as a people who have been the backbone of civilization, who God has blessed to take little and he made much,
That's
it's
right.
time for us to keep giving each other choices. We've got to keep giving each other options. We've got to create our own.
Listen, you have said a mouthful. Talk
Yes,
about empowering people, and I love the fact that even you speak in our language. We pour into purpose. That's exactly what you're doing. Pouring into
yes,
purpose, you
yes,
know, being clear about God's assignment and knowing that he is the source we plug into. So when we feel like we need to carry this burden by ourselves and we need to move forward and try to figure it all out, thank God for having a mate in your life to
yes.
speak life into you, to actually remind you who your
Remind
source
me.
is.
That's what he did. And I finally told him, I said, what you did, you just managed me. That's what you did.
Love it.
But
Listen,
I was grateful and I was humbled.
absolutely. Listen, help meets, we're here to help
Yeah,
one another with
one
God's assignment,
another.
being clear. Listen, I have someone, Leslie Listen says, you are a great storyteller. Now, I want to segue into you are an elocutionist. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are. I
Please
was
break that down.
okay. Plain and simple. I was on staff with Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama, as the elocution director for about 8 years. Elocution
Mhm.
simply means one who speaks well. And I was very fortunate because before I became the director of the elocution department, I taught elocution. I just want to give you just a simple, quick lesson.
Yes.
And I want to reflect. Many people find it surprising that I was born of a deaf mother. My mother was deaf 87 of her 92 years. And I
Mm.
share this because there is such misconception. There are such myths. If a person is deaf, they cannot speak clearly, they cannot speak well. Well, I beg to differ. My mother was our first teacher. My mother received the Lifetime Achievement Award from Alabama A&M University because she was the first deaf student there who not attended but graduated. Why do I share that? Because many deaf students go to Met, which is in Washington, D.C., specifically tailored for deaf students. My
Yes.
mother told us as little girls and a boy, there were three of us. She said, you will be my ears and you will be able to tell me what they're saying. And we said, but mother, read our lips. She says, I'm teaching you something. Her favorite three words, write it down. If we couldn't spell it, go get your dictionary, look it up. So it was through my mother's deafness, which served as a precursor for what I'm doing now. Even as a student at Tuskegee, I competed for every speech, particularly when there was a little stipend involved. Most of us are aware that plain and simple. Oh my goodness, I'm getting excited. Oh my goodness. But anyhow, we forget that each one of us may have a disability, we may have a
Yes.
handicap, but God uses handicaps. Look at
Mhm.
Moses, who had a speech impediment. I am so grateful to see one of
Yes.
my colleagues on. I was
Yes.
telling them, y'all need to hear this sister Germaine out of
Oh,
Connecticut. You're bad to the bone, blessed and delivered, bound and
oh,
determined. The young lady that chimed in is not just my soror. She was a caretaker for me, taught me the ropes while we were there, did not let any hurt, harm, or danger come over me, made sure that I was center front on many, many, many publications, not just a soror, but a friend to the end.
Absolutely.
And every one of us need a mentor. She was
Yes.
to me.
Wow.
Because
Thank you, Venus, right?
Venus,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Thank you,
Yes.
Venus, for chiming in and sharing that. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I felt your excitement when I put the message up and you saw it. It was like, Venus, you arrested her right in that moment.
Yes.
She felt you in that
Yes,
message.
I did, and I do. Because it is so
It is important.
unfortunate. She is doctor. I am not PhD. She didn't rub that in my face. She didn't belittle me. We tried to lift each other up, which
That
is
so
something I am finding as women of power, women of purpose, women of success. We're not doing it enough. Stop tearing each other down. Do like Harriet did. Reach back and bring somebody over with you. None of us got where we are by ourselves.
Wow. I want to say over on Instagram, and I can't bring my Instagram comments into the screen, but Leslie Listening says, your energy is so contagious. You remind me of Shirley Ralph. That's what she says.
Wow. Who is Shirley Rouse? Somebody said Shirley Chisholm. Somebody said Mario Angelou. I'm just grateful to keep holding and passing the mantle on.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness. It is truly so special, and to be able to just bring your presence into our community of Morning Brew. And we've had several conversations offline.
Yes.
And I'm grateful because God always sends people in my pathway in my life just through the power of their stories. And to be able to have this platform to amplify your voices and share your stories, it's such a blessing because you never know who's out there and who's waiting to connect with you.
Absolutely. Amen.
But I want to go ahead. No, you go.
I want to say kudos to you because you didn't know me from Adam, Eve, or can of paint, but you took a chance and not just believed in me, but believed in what I was doing. So graciously, I thank you.
Absolutely. And I thank Amanda, one of my authors, Amanda, for being able to just make the connection.
And powerfully she did, as we went to support her at her book signing. And I was like, girl, this book is fire. Her words were jumping. And when I found out who you were as a publisher, I said, I need to connect with this sister. I need to connect with her.
Absolutely. It's been a blessing. It's, only to continue to move forward in relationships.
Absolutely. And it's not over.
Oh, this is the beginning. Listen. Listen, we're family now.
Yes.
Well, listen, I want to talk about, because in chapter 5, Went Back, it is pretty much emphasizing that callings often requires returning. Why do you think going back is so difficult for so many people today? So let's talk about that chapter in the book because it bridges, the gap going back. It talks about love, February being Valentine and Love Month, and
girl, you're stirring my Kool-Aid, and you've got my flavor now. To me, when I wrote this, as a woman, I understand what it means to love and be loved. I also understand what it means to be disappointed. I also understand what it means to be misled. Let's dissect and pull the layers back. Now, as women, we're emotional. Men are physical. What meets the eye? It turns them on. It
Make you feel.
excites them.
Yes.
But when I thought about and read about Harriet, we don't talk about this much. We just say her husband was John. That was John number
Yes.
1, and that was John number 2. Chapter went back. Number
Yes.
5. This is sacred ground. Before Harriet Tubman became a liberator for hundreds, she first tried to liberate someone close to her heart, her own husband, John Tubman. This journey was one of hope and love and courage and ultimately heartbreak.
Yes.
But it is also where one of her greatest leadership lessons was born. Harriet, like all of us, had a spirit of humanity that said, I've gone ahead and I've understood that. Let's face it, Harriet didn't have a GPS per se. God was her global positioning system. Harriet was able to navigate geographically from being out there on the lands. And Harriet talked about much of her teaching was learned when she was out in the fields and people were working from sunup to sundown. But Harriet said it was in the fields when she was learning to come up with her escape plan to freedom. She didn't escape with bitterness. She escaped with a plan to return for those she loved. Her heart was full of expectation. Her spirit was full of hope. Her mind was full of strategy. Her faith was full of fire. She was going back to get John. We know how we get excited when we going to hook up with our own man, not somebody else's. She believed that once she tasted freedom, she could extend that freedom to John. John was already free, but she wanted to go to a land where both of them could be free. She carried in her spirit the joy of reunion, imagining the day she could bring him north to live beside her in liberty. It almost made me want to go back to the color purple. Ooh, we got Guinness about that thing. Let's keep it real. Love excites us.
Yes.
Yoked equally. When it's understood, you're giving, I'm giving, and God has linked this thing up in the middle. Hotty, oh. But then comes the pain of rejection. The pain of rejection. Everybody I know wants to be accepted by somebody or somebody's. I don't like being rejected, but freedom does not always bring the reunion we imagine. After risking her life years later, crossing dangerous terrain again, she discovered a truth that pierced deeply. John Tubman had remarried. He had moved on, and he declined her offer of freedom. The moment was devastating, a blow to her heart, her hope, and her humanity. Harriet, who had planned for joy, was met with rejection. She was not only unwelcomed, she was unwanted. But I have to tell you, I'm not going to give it all away. I want you to get into it and read it. The courage to continue. Even heartbreak could not halt her assignment. So this is why I say your calling, and each one of us has one. Our callings are bigger than those who leave. This is one of those powerful universal takeaways. Quote, your calling is bigger than the people who walk away. End quote. God will sometimes allow a heartbreak to keep you on heaven's track, not the track of your emotions. All right, somebody. Harriet teaches us not everyone you love will walk with you. Not everyone you plan for is part of the next season. Not every relationship can hold the weight of your destiny. Not every door meant to open will stay open. And yet, your calling continues. Harriet's heartbreak did not diminish her purpose, it sharpened it. And when Harriet left, she left with clarity because, as we know years later, Harriet was best with another John, and it was not unusual for
Mhm.
names to be in repetitive
Exactly.
form. It was repetition, but this was John Nelson. I just want to drop this nugget on you. What was so unusual about this marriage? We call it, in modern terms, a cougar relationship. Harriet was approximately 47 years old, and John Nelson was approximately 22 years old, nearly half her age. By the standard of her time, and even by today's expectations, this union raised eyebrows. Yet Harriet was never one to live by the approval of others. This was not an act of rebellion for rebellious sake. It was an act of agency. I've got a responsibility. I have the ability that I've got to stay focused.
That's right.
And little is mentioned, but we know Harriet and John adopted one daughter, Gertie. So I'm saying to those of you who might feel like, oh, there's no hope. My heart has been crushed like cornflakes into 1,000 pieces. He took my heart. But guess what? He didn't take your spirit. He didn't
That's right.
take your dignity.
That's right.
Hold your head up high. Put your shoulders back and thank God for the God who allows for U-turns. Because sister girls and brothers, it's not the end, it's just the bend.
Oh, I love that.
Huh.
I love that.
And I talk from the voice of experience and the
Yes.
voice of reason. Now,
I,
this
I
is
love
love.
that.
Huh? I don't want women and men, oh, I don't have a sweetheart. Love on yourself.
That's it.
Learning
Start with
to
self.
love yourself is the greatest love of all. Plenty Valentine's days, plenty Christmases.
That's right.
I didn't have the love that I have now, but I'm still all right. I was learning to love on me. God was grooming and getting me together to share that love with the one that he had reserved for me.
Listen, sometimes we have to learn how to be single. We have to learn
And
because we're so
satisfied.
connected.
Come
We've been
on.
so connected. So many pieces of ourselves are just out there that we need to pull back together, learn how to be single, and learn how to be in relationship with the one himself.
Because one is truly a whole number.
Yeah.
You're
Oh.
not by yourself, you're with yourself. And
Mm.
as I began to prepare for this morning, I started last night. I said, girlfriend, you look all right. God, thank you for creating me because I know I'm fearfully and respectfully made. Psalms 139 and 14. Why are you feeling sorry for yourselves? On the melon, all you got to do is appreciate the melon and look at you and kind of put, as my mother say, put a little press powder on if you're a
Yeah.
little lady. Take the shine down and step in like you're somebody. Walk
Yeah,
in like you belong there.
that's right.
Walk in like you're commanding the room because the God in you loves the God in me.
Mm. Wow, listen, I am so glad. I felt like story time. I had my coffee,
Yes.
I was snuggled up. You were bringing me into this story and you just lose yourself. If everyone can read their stories like you literally
Oh
have
my.
a way of opening up the pages of the book and it feels like real life. And
Thank
that's
you.
what you did. That literally, you
And
just brought us into that and made us look at our own personal situations and how does Harriet Tubman's story full of love,
Yes.
rejoicing, and new life relate to
Harriet was like, I need love too. I want
us.
love too.
Exactly. In
I
the
keep
midst of
doing that
assignment.
in the midst of. Come on, Germaine. I want some of this thing called love. I've been through
Oh
loss.
my
I've been through heartache. I've been through family separations. There were
yeah.
9 of us, and I never found my sisters, but I was able to free my mommy and my daddy and my brothers.
Hmm.
That must have been the way God intended it. Because when she said, slavery is about as close as hell as I can get.
Oof.
Oh my God. And how she talked about as a little girl, she had never tasted sugar. And all she did was stuck her finger looking
Mm.
around, thinking that mistress had turned her back. She took her finger. She said, I had seen them do it. Took my finger and stuck in the sugar and got the beating of my life and
Mm.
thought, if I live through this and my mama
Mm.
can soothe my wounds, can help me feel all the more better, because seemed like the lashes were not just on my back, but every part of my body, then
Yes.
I don't ever want anything that's going to cause a lashing or a beating like that. How great is the love from our mothers? And we want to talk about hurt and love and Harriet. One of my key scenes that I do when I am doing Harriet's interpretation.
Yes.
Harriet had a big heart. Harriet wasn't selfless. She wasn't narcissistic in her thoughts. She would acquiesce many times.
Mm.
I want to save somebody else. I want
Mm.
somebody else to taste this freedom, what it feels like not having anybody tell you, get up, come on, gal, let's move it, let's work, let's clean. She said, I'm free. Then my
People.
family and my friends ought to be free too. And
Yes.
she made sure that they were. It wasn't just about Harriet. And even when the old slave catcher, catch him, gal, catch him, Harriet refused to help catch the man.
Mm.
He moved. The 2-pound weight knocked her in the head. Then comes the beginning, the embryo of where Harriet understood, God, you creating something greater in me.
Oh my
I
gosh.
started having deep dreams and long sleeping spells. And God, you started showing me how I was going to get to freedom, how I was going to leave the Brodus's plantation. God, you had better for me. So we see everything that starts out that works, looks like it's for evil, it begins to work for our good.
Okay. Amen.
Harriet understood the premonitions. She began to understand the sixth sense. She began to understand what many of us say. I've had that nudge. I've
Mm.
had it where that sixth voice, that sixth sense is saying something to me. God, I know it's got to be you because
Oh
nobody
my.
else is in here with me. And I say to every courageous soul who has ever felt a stirring within, a whisper, a warning, a divine nudge calling you to rise. This
Yes.
book is dedicated to you, to the dreamers who move forward even when the path is unclear, to the leaders who return for those who are still in the shadows, to the believers who stand on sacred ground and step with courage, and to Harriet Tubman, whose faith, fortitude, and fire continue to illuminate generations. May this work honor your legacy and inspire the life that lives in all who dare to dream. Because Harriet let you know whatever was in her head, whatever was in her heart, you couldn't beat it out of her. You couldn't put enough lashes on her because she was determined. God, two
Yes.
things I ask you for. I want you to teach me how to fight. And he did. And I want you to teach me how to experience freedom because I know I'm going to die. Two things. God honored her persistence and he
Yes.
honored her wishes and gave her a long life. Because when I think about all that Harriet went through, that is how I came up with the chapter serial worker.
Yes.
Serial worker. Too many of us are satisfied. We're content with it'll do. But we've got to become like Harriet. We got to stir up those dry bones. We've got to stir up some of those gifts that are
Amen.
within us because we are organic. We are human beings. We are electric. We are human that says, I can rise above my circumstances. I am bigger than what I've gone through.
Yes. Amen. Ooh, let me tell you. Oh my goodness. Listen, how can people get the book?
I am,
Let's talk about that. How can people get the
yes,
book?
afacespeaker.com, which is my website, or amazon.com. They told me when I spoke with Amazon that they have caught up, says that these orders are large. I said, that's a great problem to have. Amazon.com or www.afacespeaker.com.
Got it. I'm going to post that right now
Thank you.
so people can definitely go out and get the book. So
I would
hold
so
on.
love it. I just hope that
I want to put that on a screen too. Yes.
they will be moved by some part of the book. And I want people to understand that not only is it Black History Month, this is a book for all occasions. This is a book that speaks to the consciousness of people that you can rise up out of the darkness if you happen to be in a dark space. Come into the marvelous light. It's plenty good room. It's plenty good
Yes.
room. Come on in. Just as you made your presence known in the morning brew with Germaine, come on in. It's plenty good room. Come
Amen.
help and find hope.
Let
Yes.
me, I want to put this up also just so they can
Okay.
also, for more information, they can go visit you over on your website, afayespeaker.com. That's correct, right?
That's me. That's me.
Yes.
Yes. Thank
Go and order
you.
your copy. Order your copies. Go get your
I would
copies.
love it. You
And
will
yes,
never be the same.
you talked about also in the book, they were making Harriet Tubman the $20 bill to replace Andrew. But
Yes.
you really, a lot of people don't know the significance behind the $20.
Woo! May I share it? May I share it?
Please, please, I want you to
I'm
share
going to
that.
give them a snippet, give our listeners a
Yes,
snippet. Harriet was all about freedom. That was her mantra. Not only was she the greatest Underground Railroad conductor, but as she conducted, she was strategizing. If I take this route, then I can get them through here, the safest and the shortest route possible from the north to the south. Well,
Mhm.
Harriet realized when she was making her strategy to go back to get mom and daddy, she was short on funds. I told you she was a businesswoman.
Yes, she was.
Harriet says, well, while I'm in the north, I need to go ask one of my Quaker friends for $20. And just as he opened the door, he was headed to a meeting. And he says, Harriet, what brings you here? What are you doing? She says, you do. He said, I'm headed to a meeting. She said, I am too. He said, well, Harriet, what can I do for you? I'm really, really rushing. She said, I need $20. He said, Harriet, I've got to go, and closed the door and left. Harriet got comfortable in one of his plush chairs. And see, I tell you, that same God who delivered us from the backroom shanties to the shotgun houses brought Harriet to the boardroom's plush. Harriet
Yeah.
stepped up in there, and I guess he said, I'll stay as long as I can. Well, he stayed so long, Harriet went to sleep. And he left and came back. The moral of the story is Harriet persisted. Harriet did not leave with $20. She left with 3 times $20. Okay? $60. She said, God in heaven, look at what you've done. She started calculating, I can free more than just my mama and daddy. And Harriet had a way with numbers that people still don't understand. I said, here's the thing. Harriet, true enough, may have been illiterate, but Harriet was not ignorant.
Oh, there's a difference.
Oh, come on now.
There is
Harriet
a difference.
could calculate. And I told you she was a serial worker. She was an entrepreneur. She was a hospital administrator that had it made in the shade for those who lived well in their late ages, where they could come and live in comfort. Harriet was a spy. Harriet was a scout. Harriet was a nurse. So I could go on and on and on about the many roles that Harriet served. But I'm telling you, don't mess with the money. Harriet was about, show me the money and I'll leave. He said, as he thought, I should have given her the 20 and then she wouldn't have been here. And she said, just about that time, she awakened from her deep sleep, and there was the money.
What'd you say? Don't mess with my money.
Don't mess with my money. And she kept it safely tucked in the pocketbook and went about her merry way.
Yeah.
And freed her mama and daddy and one of her brothers off of that money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh. I love our people. I do. I absolutely
come on.
love
we
our
are
people.
Entrepreneurs. We are ingenious. We are thinkers, doers, producers, creators, motivators, stimulators. We are all that. Success runs in our race. We are creators.
Absolutely. And a threat.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Big threats.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh,
because of what he has put in us.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You said
What's next? What's next for you?
Wow. Interestingly enough, I am in talks about a play, a film, and in here, I want to do some commercials.
Good for you.
That is where I would like for God to direct my paths. But in short term, I am getting ready to go on book tour, lecture series, and do what I do to empower minds and transform lives. Wow. Because any one of us who has not just fellowship, but a relationship with a higher power knows that he is the God of constant. He is the God of movement. He is the God that is steadily nudging us, that is steadily planting seeds in us, because we know once the seeds are planted, he has someone to water them, and he does the increase.
Amen. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Make your requests known.
Yes.
Make your requests known. We don't ask.
No.
You know?
God, I appeal to you and I ask you. I won't ever say what I won't do. Every morning after our prayer time, I say, God, will you please make clear my assignment today?
Yes.
Because each one of us has something in us to make us better, to make us more concerned about the social ills of this world that can help somebody else along the way. And that's where I want my epitaph to read. She did
Yes.
all she could to help humanity. But a lot of us forget when God blesses us, He doesn't intend for us to just bless others. We have to bless ourselves too.
That's right.
I can't be a blessing to someone if I don't have anything to bless you with. Because I say oftentimes we forget writing is an art, but publishing is a business. I don't have to tell you. When I look at the escalating prices and the inflationary things of how people are gouging us,
Yes.
I began to understand that I serve a great big God. I serve the God of more than enough. I serve the God of overflow. I serve the God that says it's more than enough for you. I specialize in need, not greed. I've got a place for those who are greedy. Okay, okay. And I just become troubled sometimes when I
Okay.
think about the situations of the world and how sometimes our sisters and brothers of the other persuasion think they're hurting us, but
That-
you're really hurting yourselves.
That's it.
It's so incredulous when we think, oh, I'm working evil on them. I'm wreaking havoc upon them. But
Yeah.
God keeps on giving each one of us a spirit of discernment. God says,
Absolutely.
I haven't forgotten you. Some may say we're living in the worst of times. I don't submit that. Many of
Yes.
us are living in the best of times because
Absolutely.
God is our keeper, God is our protector, God is our Jehovah Rapha. He
Yes.
keeps us in perfect health and perfect peace. He is our Jehovah Jireh, the Lord of
Oh,
provision.
absolutely.
So I
It's
like
helping.
to share
Yeah. Go
what
ahead.
I call my final charge, as after each chapter title,
Mm-hmm.
this is sacred ground. No matter the time it takes, the depth you must travel, the width you must cross, or the disappointments and heartbreaks you endure, giving up is never an option. Harriet kept going step after step, guided by God, guided by courage, guided by a conviction that refused to bow to fear.
Mm.
She walked by faith, not by sight. She trusted God with every step. She obeyed even when the path was unclear. She persevered through danger, darkness, and uncertainty, and heaven honored her endurance. And so must you. When the night is long, keep going. When the disappointment is heavy, keep going. When people misunderstand your calling, keep going. When resources look thin, keep going. When strength feels small, keep going. When fear whispers, stop, keep going. Purpose is not for the faint, it is for the faithful. Your assignment requires resilience. Your
Yes.
destiny requires endurance. Your calling requires courage. Your next level requires obedience. Do not shrink. Do not retreat. Do not lose heart. Do not let doubt rewrite what God has already authored. In the words of Harriet, God's time is always near. Harriet Tubman.
Wow. Wow. Keep going. Listen, what do we go after that, right?
Hey,
Listen,
take it to your churches, take it
that's
to your schools. If you
that's
ever
it.
need an inspirational, motivational speaker, send for me.
Let me put that information back up on the screen. Please go visit. Go over
Yes,
to A Faye's website at www.afayspeaker.com. and engage with her. Yes, she
Yes.
is available. She's available. Make sure you get your copy. I want to put this up on the screen. Make sure you get your copy of Universal Takeaways from Tubman.
Fun.
Make sure you get that.
Oh
I
my
mean, you will
goodness.
listen. She just literally brought us into her world. She brought us into her story. I mean, I felt like I was in that moment. So I can imagine as you wrote this story, just what you were going through. Woo,
Girl.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. But please make sure you all that are watching, chiming in. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of the community. One thing I do want to say, I want to be able to welcome everyone over into our new school community. Morning Brew with
Wow.
Germaine is now on school. It is the community. We decided to partner with them. It feels like the right fit, whereas we can continue these conversations about the guests that stop by for coffee and conversation, like Faye being able to talk about her book today over
Yeah.
in the school community. And so, and also, if you have a story, being able to share the power of your story, you definitely want to be a part of this community. So I'm so glad that she's going to be joining the community.
Yes, yes. I'm honored. I'm grateful. I'm
Yes,
thankful.
yes. Let me put it's scrolling across the bottom. School.com/morning brew with Germaine, but I'm gonna also just put it up on the screen so you can have an opportunity to take a moment right now. You could take a moment right now and just go to join the community right now. It's only a few moments,
I
okay?
love it. Yes. Oh, I feel it. Thank God for you, Germaine.
Yes, so this has been a blessing. Oh my gosh. So listen, she will not be a stranger to Morning Brew. Like I
No.
said, she is just birthing out stories, which is so amazing in this season,
Yeah.
and even you'll be able to go back and read some of her earlier stories
Yeah.
also. So,
Yes.
oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I'm so
Thank
excited.
you. And I
Yeah.
want every listener, every reader to know, don't just remember your glory because there is a story behind every glory moment in your
Mm,
life.
wow. Amen. Whew. Guys, this was a real treat today, Authors Brew Friday. So I am so glad you decided to just stop by. Now,
Yes.
make sure if you have not already, join our YouTube community, Morning Brew with Germaine. Make sure you stop by and you can go through the whole entire vault
Oh,
and,
wow.
pick and choose what fits
Exciting.
you. But yes.
I
So,
love hearing what fellow authors share. I love it.
oh,
I will
absolutely.
I will do that.
Absolutely. So, but we are here Monday through Friday from 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can always stop by for coffee and conversation, even if you don't drink coffee.
Yes.
It's okay. Whatever you're drinking.
Conversation,
Yes.
interaction, step
Engagement.
away from all
Yes.
the electronic devices. Come
Exactly.
on in and be
That's,
uplifted. Germaine is a light to be reckoned with within
mm,
herself. Yes, we
that's it.
attract what we reflect.
Oh, I love that. You are absolutely right. So I tell you, so I am looking forward to the extended conversation over in our school community at Morning Brew with Jermaine. So make sure you
Yeah,
guys take a moment and do that, join the community. And you never know what's in it for you over there, but you have to be a part of it. You have to be a part of it. So Miss Afe, thank
yes.
you so much. Listen, we got a
Thank
lot to
you.
talk about off
Yes,
screen. Okay,
yes, we
guys?
do. Upline. Okay. I love it and I welcome it. Thank
Yes,
you, Germaine.
absolutely. But we'll definitely be back. Have a safe and wonderful weekend. I know up north here it is going to be freezing cold, so please make sure you get your book, okay?
Yes.
Get your
Cozy
book
up
so
and
you can
read.
snuggle up and let me put that up on the screen one more time before we go, okay?
Yes.
Giving
Thank
people the
you.
opportunity to really be able to go over to listen, go to her website, order it from there, or you can go to Amazon and you can order it, okay? Just go order it. All right? Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe one of these days, who knows, I may be able to autograph it for you. I say that I am based in Alabama, but the whole world is my domain.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I love that.
You did it.
Touching
Yes.
all parts. Listen, not just limited to your regional location, but everywhere.
Everywhere. You said it everywhere.
Everywhere. Listen, Leslie, said, I want an autographed copy. So you know what? Maybe if people are placing orders through your website,
through my website,
and you're fulfilling the orders, then that's where you can sign the autographed copies.
I can sign it. It would be my honor.
Yes.
Okay. Where is Leslie from? Does she say?
Leslie is in Florida.
Wow, Sunshine State.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous right now.
They got some cold there too a few days ago. I think the first in about 15 years. Am I right?
I'll still take Florida. I'll still take Florida over
Connecticut. Me too.
All right. Until we meet again, I will see you all on Monday. Have a great, safe weekend. And listen, remember, take a pause so you can pour into purpose, okay?
Yes.
This message today was all about purpose.
Definitely.
So, all right. And on that note, I love you also.
We love you.
We will talk soon. So have a great day, okay?
All right. So long.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.
So long.